Welcome to Streams of Income, hosted by best-selling author and entrepreneur Dr. David Powers, where we discuss streams of income, passive income, residual income, and even why there are dinosaurs and zombies in this intro. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive in.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Streams of Income podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you are willing to give me some of your time to listen to either a business lesson or an interview with an amazing entrepreneur. So once again, thank you for listening to the Streams of Income podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. All right, everybody. So like most times, the pre-show conversation is usually the best stuff because we get to talking about some crazy things that we don't always want to put out there, but now it's time for the real show. And so we are here with MidSouthHomebuyers.com. And by the way, guys, this is all unedited, and I've got a crazy, weird audience, so there's probably nothing you can say that would offend anybody. I got everything.
We're at the right place.
That listen to Pantera to Taylor Swift. So
nice.
So I tell you what, go ahead and tell everybody who you are, because I know you could give a much better introduction than I could.
Sure. Well, I'll go ahead and start. My name is Terry Kerr. I'm the founder of MidSouth Homebuyers, founded about 23, almost 24 years ago. And we are a turnkey real estate provider. So what that means is we find houses that are severely dilapidated. We do a full-blown renovation job, stem to stern. We then transfer that property over to our property management company, put a resident in the property, then sell those properties to real estate investors that are looking for passive income, and our property management company manages that property for the long term for what we call mailbox money. So it truly is turnkey. Our investor buyers can be as active or passive as they want to be, but most of them are getting involved because they don't want to be active. They want to reap all of the benefits of owning real estate without any of the headache, and that's what we specialize in.
Oh yeah, and I was scanning through your website, and you guys have some pretty amazing guarantees as well, as far as finding tenants, keeping tenants, things like that. I was pretty impressed.
We do. So it starts with a bumper-to-bumper 1-year warranty on the rehab, not to be confused with a traditional home warranty that one might get when they buy a house, and you've got to call this home warranty company. They're insurance companies, obviously. Insurance companies don't like to pay claims. The fine print is long to those. We do not have any fine print. And so it is literally every single component to the house. It does not cover acts of God, and it does not cover resident neglect, but everything else is covered stem to stern. And as well, we have a lifetime 90-day rent warranty, which states that if the property falls vacant for more than 90 days, then we will start paying the rent on day 91. And the reason that's so important is because, and if folks go to our website, they can learn their own due diligence of how to underwrite a turnkey seller in any market. But one of the things you got to be on the lookout for is making sure that the rent is priced right, because if the rent is up an extra $50 or $100 over what it should be, that could equate to $7,000 to $14,000 in extra sales price that the turnkey seller would be asking. And so by making sure that the rent is right, you're protecting yourself from long-term vacancies on the refill. Well, we're able to offer that 90-day lifetime rent warranty because our rents are priced right. And again, our website is designed specifically to show folks how to shop for a turnkey seller or even a rental property just in general, or a property management company in any market. So although we want to work with everybody, we also know that some folks want to buy in a particular part of the country or maybe even in their own backyard. And so that's why we encourage folks to use our website as a tool.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool. I mean, I've like most people, I've listened to a lot of real estate podcasts, and it seems overwhelming. Like, especially if I'm doing out of where I live, I've got to find a place, I've got to check the schools and the neighborhoods and find a property manager. But with you guys, it pretty much cuts all that hassle out, right?
It does. And that's actually how the business was formed. When I first got into the business, I thought I was going to be a retail flipper and own some rental property. And my first year in the business, a buddy of mine that I hadn't seen in years, I ran into him and he asked me what I was doing. I told him. He ended up buying a couple of rental properties, my personal rental properties, from me. And I said, why would you do that when you've already bought 10 yourself and fixed them up, and maybe you've got a little more equity in the property because you've got all this sweat equity? And so why would you pay me to do this? And he said, because I don't have enough time. And a light bulb came on and a business was born. And fast forward, now we've done over 5,800 projects, renovated or brand new construction, direct to rental, in the last 23, 24 years.
Yeah, that's a pretty good track record. So saving the hassle, I mean, right away, you've probably sold a lot of people, and just head to the website and check it out, which, by the way, if you're listening to this and not watching, it's MidSouthHomebuyers.com. If you're watching, just go ahead and type that in on another screen while you're listening to this. But so take me through the journey. Like, let's say if I decided, okay, you know what, it's time. It's time I get into real estate, but I don't want the hassle. I pull up your website, and where do I go from there? What do I do?
Sure. Well, first off, I want to introduce Matthew Van Horn. Matthew has been working with us for about 14 years. He has run the property management company for well over a decade, and he is now our sales director. So although I've worn all the hats, Matthew wears this hat a lot better than I do, so I'll let him take that one.
Hey, Matthew, before you talk, man, let me say something that maybe it'll be a compliment for you. I interviewed a guy recently that his goal in life was to be the world guy that's known for hiring, how to hire good people. And Terry, you can back me up on this. What this guy said was hire miracle workers and get out of their way.
Absolutely, man. I mean, there are very few people that work here that let me just say this. I can't do folks' jobs better than they do it. You know, I'm a big picture guy. I am not good at details. So get the right folks on board and get them out of the way. Matthew's probably chuckling because he knows what I'm about to say now. I want to say maybe 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when he was just starting to manage the property management company, I was doing too much micromanaging. And he's like, dude, trust me or train me. And I was like, well, man, I trust you. And he said, okay, well, train me. And I'm like, well, you actually know what you're doing, so I'll just get out of the way. And let me just tell you, great things happen when you display the trust in the folks that you trust, and they just take off. And Matthew has absolutely done that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and just one of many here. We have a fantastic team. Terry likes to tell that story, but really he has created a great environment here for us working here. We work like founders. We work like we own the business because he's constantly asking, act like you own the business. Like, what would you do? What would you change? You know, we're always tweaking our systems here. You never get it perfect. There's always a bottleneck somewhere to work on, and so we're always working on that, working on efficiency while trying to keep our quality of life great here as a company. We have over 100 W-2 employees that work for this outfit, for MidSouth Homebuyers, the turnkey part, and for MidSouth Best Rentals, our property management division. And Terry owns both sides of that, which is really important when you're looking at a turnkey seller. Do they own both the renovation company and the management company? Yep. Because sometimes you run into a situation where they have affiliates. You know, it's like we have an affiliated property management company. And what happens then is, they hand it over to the property management company. And when something goes wrong, the property management company points their fingers at the original contractors. The contractors say, well, if you knew how to manage, and so they're pointing the fingers at one another. And what I love is that we own it all here in-house. So we work through things together as a company. All of us here are working for the long-term success of our investors. Our investors, just like I think a lot of your listeners, Dr. Dave, are looking for time freedom. they don't want to worry about the things that actually I'm worrying about from day to day. They want to live their life and do what they do best, and spend the time with the people that they love. And so we're here to create a truly turnkey process for the people who invest with us. And I am getting back to your question. I think we are a great option for people who are first-time investors, whether they're first-time investors or if they've been with us a long time, because it truly is turnkey, and we truly, I think, de-risk the deal a lot for new investors, because when we sell a home, it's with a resident already in the home. It's been completely renovated. We've dealt with the contractors already and made the home perfect. And we're not going to sell the home until we have it cash flowing. And so one thing that you'll see that we advertise is cash flow from day one. As soon as you close on that purchase, you are making money from that purchase. And so we have a good problem here, which is we do have a short wait list. So when you go onto our website, you will notice that the properties are showing up as under contract, and that's because we do have the homes on our website reserved for our wait list, which is it's only about a 30 to 45 day wait list right now. So usually that's kind of perfect, especially if you're financing. You know, it's just long enough to get your financing in order, to make sure that you have time to do your own due diligence. Because even though we do all the vetting for you in terms of making sure it's a great property, people still have their preferences, whether they want to invest in maybe the Memphis market or the Arkansas market. Some people prefer new construction. Some people prefer rehabs. And, you know, we look to serve however you want to invest as an investor.
No, that's a good problem to have, though. I mean, a wait list, you can't beat that for a business.
It's a good problem. I mean, it was longer, and we've worked hard to get those wait times down. What's helped that a lot is new construction. We've been able to fire up our own new construction outfit here, which has allowed us to a large degree, control our growth and to provide inventory for our buyers who are wanting a turnkey investment property. I think we were able to sell about 680 homes last year. And so we're trying to work on getting those wait times down, or at least manageable for folks. So there's a little bit of planning, but if you join the wait list today, for instance, you still should be able to squeeze in a purchase by the end of the year if that's something that you're looking for. Some people need to purchase for, besides cash flow, some people are looking for the tax benefits of real estate. Terry mentioned that people like to invest with us because even though you do pretty much none of the work, you get 100% of the benefits of owning real estate.
And tremendous tax benefits for real estate.
Yeah, it's really wonderful for people who, if you have listeners who, they're investing and yet they also have a W-2, this is a great way to take home more pay through the tax advantages that you have through purchasing real estate through us. So you go on our website, you'll notice that we have homes starting at as low as $100,000 and all the way up to, $250,000, $260,000 if you're talking about a brand new construction home in a top market. And so that's kind of our range.
That sounds pretty cheap still, though. I mean, is that what I noticed on your website? A lot of it seems like affordable housing, and I know a lot of people want to get into that niche. Like, they don't want to just own real estate; they want to also help people out. And a lot of your places looked ideal for that kind of thing.
We're really proud of what we're able to provide for the communities that we serve, because I think we do more to promote housing affordability in our markets than anybody else, than literally anybody else. Most of our renters are paying street rent. In other words, most renters are not subsidized by the government as far as that goes, but it is a very affordable product while still being a completely turnkey property. And so you'll notice whether you're looking at a $100,000 home on our website or a $200,000 home on our website, you're going to notice the same quality of renovation. It's still going to have brand new everything, brand new roof, brand new HVAC, brand new floors, brand new countertops, et cetera, et cetera. We take these rehabs down to the studs, and make them all new. And so we're not doing C-class renovations. We're doing retail level renovations on all properties at whatever the price point is. And our residents are very proud to live where they do.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. And so, I mean, basically, just like a typical home buying, you just come up with the 20% or whatever you're wanting to put into it, and then hop on that wait list.
That's it.
Yeah, it almost sounds too simple, man.
And if I may piggyback on what Matthew said, that our residents are very proud to live in our homes, and it's one of the reasons why the investment works so well is because they can't find a better value, and so they stay in our homes a lot longer than the industry average. So the industry average is around 2 years, and our residents are staying about 4 years. And so when you've got twice or double the length of the average resident stay, it really makes the product perform a lot better. And not only does the product look good and that everything's gutted, the kitchens are gutted, bathrooms are gutted, like Matthew said, the whole 9 yards. We also pride ourselves on making repairs fast. So even, ask any brand new construction developer, they'll even tell you that a water heater, the heating element, can go out on the second day of home ownership. They're under warranty, right? But the labor's not. And so we make sure to get out and make repairs really fast because we have got hardworking residents in our properties. And when they come home from a long day of work, we want the air to be cold in the summer, hot in the winter, and the water heater to always be hot. So, it's a combination of delivering a top-notch product, but then also making sure that there's top-notch service for the long term for the resident.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, from what you do with the guarantees and everything, happy renters take better care of your homes. I mean, they want to take care of it because kind of like how you guys have a sense of it's my business, I own the business, or, act like I own it. Your renters, if you can get them to feel that way, that's a pretty amazing deal.
Absolutely. And, they'll take pride in the homes, and this is where they want to have Thanksgiving and they want to have their families over for Christmas. And, it's cool to be able to take the ugliest house on a street and turn it into the prettiest house on the street. It has the opposite of the broken window effect, and it's really cool to be able to get to do what we do there. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And so as far as markets go, you guys are primarily Memphis and Arkansas, right?
That's right. We operating where you can still find cash flow with real estate. A lot of our competitors, they've given up talking about cash flow because they can't find it in their markets anymore. We're really blessed to be working here in markets that still cash flow great. And so, we've still seen great, if you look over the past several years, we've appreciated like everyone else as far as that goes, and still thankful that we have cash flowing assets to provide to our investors.
Yeah, no, that's pretty amazing. And so even though you're like for me, I'm in South Carolina, there's no problem with me investing in the other markets, which scares a lot of people if you don't know what you're doing. But with you, I don't have to worry about that.
Well, and I tell you what, most folks buy sight unseen from us, like maybe only 5% of the folks that we work with do we ever get to meet. And so, we have little rehab homes tours, once a month. And so anybody who would like to come out and visit with us, we sure would love that. We love getting to meet the folks we work with, just as it doesn't happen enough. So anybody who wants to come check us out, go to the website, check out the homes tours, and come hop on a little Sprinter van, and we'll roll around and see some befores, some middle rehab, some afters, and all that good stuff, and kind of pull the curtain back and show you our 45,000 square foot warehouse where we buy all of our materials in bulk, which is how we're able to keep costs down that allow us to put a lot more into the renovation of the property because we're able to get materials cheaper. There's a lot of things that go into making the sausage, and it's fun to be able to kind of nerd out on all the little details, which is kind of really what makes the deal work. There's not any one big thing, but there are lots of little things, and it's fun to talk about.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I noticed that on the website with the schedule. And Like I've looked into like multifamily investing, things like that. And to be honest with you, a lot of those outfits, they don't want you coming anywhere near what they're building, what your money's paying for. And I thought that was a pretty nice touch for you guys. I mean, we could show up and go on a tour, have lunch, see the sights in Memphis and everything else, and have a good time, which is a rarity in from what I've seen.
Well, I mean, we're even kind of bribing folks to come. It's like, man, just come check us out. We'll give you $500 off your first house, or I think it's the closing cost, $500 towards closing costs. But we understand that folks are busy, and flying in to buy a house just might not want to use your time that way. And so that's why on the website we have got a video tour. For folks who can't make it, go in there and check that out. It's very dated. We need another one. Matthew's like, dude, are you kidding? Like this is back when houses were half this cost. But so forget about the numbers. Rent's a lot better, and the sales prices are up. But you can see all the things. You can see the philosophy. You can see what we do, what we put into the properties. And again, it's a bunch of little nerdy little things that might not sound great at the cocktail party, but it's where the rubber meets the road as far as the return goes.
Yeah. All right. So let's jump off topic for just a second, because I always like to kind of get the history behind what the success is right now. So what kinds of jobs have you guys had in the past, or just experiences that led you to this?
Whoa. So my first job was cutting grass. My second job was working at a skateboard shop. I was a sponsored skater for some years back in the day.
Which company?
Lake Skates out of Melbourne, Florida, Motorbuilt trucks, Balls Out clothing, awesome tennis shoes, and some others. But
man, that's cool, because I was the whole skater scene back in the early 90s.
Oh yeah. It was a lot of fun. I'm paying for it now, but ouch. But it was fun. But I think maybe my favorite job might have been bussing tables at Ruby Tuesdays. That's where I really honed my OCD. I was really proud of how well I could stock my bus tub and be efficient. And so, I think that's really where I got the efficiency bug. And so, I sold advertising at the Memphis Business Journal. That was one of my last day jobs before I jumped right on into real estate. But yeah, good times.
Yeah. I was lucky to answer a Craigslist ad about 14 years ago to come here. I was looking for kind of an easier sales job because I was selling cars at the time, which was fun. But certain dealerships, it's really a struggle because the sales managers just keep hiring more and more salespeople, and sometimes that's actually unsustainable for any one person to actually earn a living. There's like this saying, as a matter of fact, if you want to sell more cars, just hire more salespeople. And so they would flood the floor, with more salespeople than could actually sustain the deal. So I've done a lot of sales before this, sold Betty Crocker cookbooks over the phone, Rainbow vacuums, door to door. I actually went to school to be a youth
not
minister.
Easy sales there.
It's not. Went to school to be a youth minister, actually. And so kind of had there's not enough podcasts to talk about that journey, but kind of led me to sales in a circuitous.
That's never a high-paying journey either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the former pro skater and the youth minister.
Not pro, just sponsored.
It's close enough, man. You're like next best thing to Tony Hawk.
I skated with some of the pros, but I was not pro. Boy, when you think you're good, just skate with Christian Hosoi and Sergi Valente and see how terrible you are.
Oh man, I was a big Christian Hosoi fan. Yep. You're gonna take us down memory lane there, though. But all right, so as we get ready to close, the last question I usually like to ask everybody is if you could recommend 1 to 3 resources that have changed your life, books, podcasts, people you follow, like Tony Robbins, or just books you read that changed everything for you, what would that be?
Well, I will say, and I hate the name of this book, but it's The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. I believe he wrote it in 1910. It was written before Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
And Napoleon Hill then also ended up writing The Master Key to Riches, which was a side by side. If you take The Science of Getting Rich, which was written before, and you hold it side by side, it's a direct ripoff. It's more wordy. The Science of Getting Rich is written like a textbook, and it teaches us how to think, and it teaches us how to have faith and believe and have the right mindset. And there's a lot of scripture quoted in the book. And again, it's just more like a textbook. If anybody wants to just like jump straight in, go to chapter 17. It's the synopsis, and it's a beautiful thing. And it's just it's not woo woo. It's just real.
Yeah. I actually forked out a little more money and bought a nice hardback copy. So that way when I take notes and underline in it, it's worth keeping on the shelf,
Sweet.
Yeah, I really like the book Die with Zero by Bill Perkins. Read that a couple of years ago, and it's made a tangible impact on my life, I would say. So it's about money, but it's more about life. He talks about getting the most out of the now. And of course, he talks about investing in a responsible way. But he talks about how you should do the things now, and you should put your money to work now. And he talks about one of the ideas that influenced me was the idea of memory dividends. So the sooner you do a thing, you have an experience, the longer you get to relive that experience with your family and the loved ones that you experienced it with. And so it was like invest early and often. And so he kind of flips that. Instead of talking about money, investing early and often in experiences. And that led me to like think, my dad has talked about going to the Grand Canyon like his whole life. And I've been hearing that for years and years. And I was like, you know what? We're going to the Grand Canyon. So that was my takeaway from that book. And I mean, it's just one little piece of it, but like now we have that memory dividend that's reinvesting year by year.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful thing.
That's nice.
No, that is amazing because my dad, we always wanted to climb Grand Teton together and waited too long, and there's no way his health would let him do it now. And there is no getting that memory at this point.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. It really it's kind of sobering in a way, but in all the right ways.
Yeah. And just for the folks who are listening, there's a young man on the other side of the screen. Is there anything he'd like to add?
Aaron, what you got? Aaron, the other man with the beard says nada.
Nada. Nada. Ditto.
But yeah, man.
And I've been told that Aaron has such a glorious beard that he's not allowed on the screen.
Dude, it's so glorious.
It puts us guys to shame.
But man, one thing that I would say, Dr. Dave, is I would just encourage your listeners to just pull the trigger on something, like decide what it is they're going to do, whether it's whatever kind of investment it is, or whatever kind of strategy it is. Educate yourself, give yourself a time frame, right, and educate the stew out of yourself. And then just do it. And it's not going to be, a lot of times, at least like in my experience, if you're like going to rehab your first house, it's not going to go perfect, but you're going to learn a lot, right? And then the next time you're better, and the next time you're better, and you figure out how to duplicate something, right? Because it's not what you can do, it's how fast you can do it and how many times you can do it, at least in a lot of investments. Yeah. And so, like I said, whether it's rehabbing your first home, buying something turnkey, or doing any of the other cool investments that you've talked about, man, just pull the trigger, because analysis paralysis is real, and there's such a thing as get the education, but then just pull the trigger.
Oh yeah. Most people overanalyze, and then fear takes over, and they never do anything.
Yep.
All right, well, guys, I appreciate you being here with me, and I'll put everything in the show notes, and then especially the link to MidSouthHomebuyers.com, and that way folks can sign up and get on that wait list as soon as they're ready.
Sounds like a plan, Dr. Dave.
All right, you guys take care.
All right, man, you too.
Hey, everybody, before we close out, first of all, I hope you enjoyed that podcast, whether it was an interview with an amazing entrepreneur or a business lesson for me, I sincerely hope that you gain something from it that you can use in your life moving forward. Before I leave, though, I need to mention that this podcast is sponsored by Lowe's Home Improvement Stores. I have become a Lowe's creator. It's a pretty cool thing because on this farm, I'm looking out the window right now and seeing all the things that I want to do around here. Most of these things I can do with products from Lowe's Home Improvement. And so I'm excited to be a Lowe's creator. If you want to check out some things from them and order some stuff and see my specially curated Lowe's storefront, you can click in the show notes. There's a link there for you. And I hope you build some amazing things. And hey, you know what? If you do, send me pictures. I would absolutely love to see the amazing things that you're building at your house using Lowe's products or anything else, really. I'm just curious. I want to know everything about you and everything about the cool projects you're doing because I'll be honest with you, I get some neat ideas for things I want to do at my house as well. All right, y'all take care. Thanks for listening.